Hello students, in the previous video we have discussed about Jim's experience on the battlefield which he shared with his wife Connie in his letter. Jim ends the letter with a hope that before the next Christmas the war would be over and he would be reunited with his wife. In this video we will learn about the narrator's visit to Jim's wife Connie. Today, we are going to study the third and the last part of the story, the best Christmas present in the world. Part 3. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into its envelope. I kept awake all night. By morning, I knew what I had to do. I drove into Bridport, just a few miles away. I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Beeches was. House number 12 turned out to be nothing but a burnt out shell. The roof gaping, the windows boarded up. I knocked at the house next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of Mrs. Macpherson. "Oh yes," said the old man in his slippers. He knew her well. "A lovely old lady," he told me, "a bit muddle-headed, but at her age she was entitled to be. Wasn't she? 101 years old. She had been in the house when it caught fire. No one really knew how the fire had started, but it could well have been candles. She used candles rather than electricity because she always thought electricity was too expensive. The fireman had got her out just in time. She was in a nursing home now, he told me, Burlington House on the Dorchester Road on the other side of town. Now, after the narrator had finished reading the letter, he had kept thinking about the letter and its content, and the next morning he decided to go and meet Mrs. Macpherson. The narrator went to her house and there he found only the remains of a burned down house. Then he inquired from her neighbors and he came to know that she was admitted to the nursing home. No one knew how the house caught fire, maybe due to candles, because she used candles rather than electricity, informed by the neighbor of Mrs. Macpherson. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. There were paper chains up in the hallway and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with a lopsided angel on top. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. She even offered me a mince pie. She walked me along the corridor. "Mrs. Macpherson is not in with the others," she told me. "She's rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. She has no family, you know, no one visits. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you." She took me into a conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hands folded in her lap. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. She was gazing out at the garden. "Hello," I said. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. Happy Christmas, Connie. I went on. I found this. I think it's yours. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. I explained about the disc, about how I had found it, but I don't think she was listening. For a while she said nothing, but stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertips. Suddenly, she reached out and took my hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. You told me you would come home by Christmas, dearest, she said. And here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Come closer, Jim dear, sit down. I sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. I read your letters so often, Jim, every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me. And now you are. Now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. Would you do that for me, Jim dear? I just want to hear your voice again. I would love that so much. And then perhaps we will have some tea. I've made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. I know how much you love marzipan. Okay. The narrator went to the nursing home where Mrs. Macpherson was admitted. There he found she was sitting on a wheelchair. She was very old, 101 years old now. She was blankly staring out of the window. The narrator carried with him the small tin box in which he had found the letter and handed it over to Mrs. Macpherson and informed her that he had come to return her that box. Mrs. Macpherson, on seeing the box, looked up to see the stranger and mistook the narrator to be her husband Jim. She remembered the promise Jim had made years ago of returning back home on Christmas, and she got overjoyed thinking that finally Jim kept his promise and he came back to her. She said his return was the best Christmas present in the world. She then asked him to read out the letter to her in his own voice. She told the narrator, whom she assumed to be Jim, that she had prepared a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around, because she knew how much Jim loved marzipan. Here ends the chapter. I hope now you have an idea about the story. A PDF will be uploaded. Go through the summary and note down word meaning from that and all the question answer in your English notebook. Thank you. Be safe. Stay home. God bless you.